Good afternoon, everybody. How's things? Goodness me, it's the 1st of July and it's raining. What on earth's going on? But then again, we are. So, not to worry. We're all in and we're all tangling. So, that's all good to go, isn't it? Let's see where we're at then. Okay, I've just checked and we are on tile 254 today. So, we've got the time right, we've got the number right, and we're all good to go. So what do I have? I thought I'd go on one of the bright tiles. I've got that lovely sort of peacocky, bluey green kind of colour. And I thought that would be quite nice to do something with. So what we're going to do then, I've got my pencil, got my tortillon, I've got my regular pen, I've got my white chalky pencil. And I'm going to make a start. I think the first thing I'm going to do, let's have a look, go a bit bigger. Just going to put a border in. So whether you want to use a tile or whether you want to use a ruler, whatever you've got. John's ruler's in my case downstairs, so I've got to come in with a tile here. And it's not going to be too thick here. I'm going to just put a little line around. There you go. If I draw in along here, down there. Hi everybody, good afternoon. I hope it's better weather where you are. It's a bit of rain here. There we go. I'll just say as we know, I was hacked on Facebook a little while ago, and it's caused problems with my bank and things like that. So if you were actually on the last workshop and you did both days, you know you get a 10% discount. Well, I gave you that discount, and then the bank took it back. So my apologies for that. They were just trying to cover and make sure that I wasn't being hacked again and all the rest of it. So what I've done this morning is I've actually refunded your money. So if it looks in your bank, it's a little bit crazy. That's what it is. My apologies. But yeah, I wanted to obviously you get your discount. So okay. Next bit then. Just gonna put in another border, but this time a bit thicker now. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna create a line all the way across, like so. I'm just gonna join that bit in there. So then the same on all sides. Oh, join it, Sandra. Same on all sides. So I've got a little bit like a square there. Okay. Same on this one. Just start lining it up down there. Rose Dobby is still sulking. He's actually we've brought some boxes in, some envelopes. And he's sat on top of all these boxes and he now can't get down. So he's whining because we're all busy and we can't get him. We've told him he's got to stay there for a bit. I'll take a picture in a minute. He looks really miserable. We'll move him. Okay. Next one then, I'm going to draw in. Let's have a look. A line here. And a line here. So we're going to split it in half. And then the next ones. Again, put a line here. There we go. So I've got sort of boxes. And another line here. Okay. Turning it round. Same again. It's a little bit of a standard now, this, isn't it? If we're doing a border, it's this kind of size. We'll keep him out of mischief. Not for long though. We'll find a way down. He sulked all the way home last night in the car. Yeah, he was not much company. Okay, so I'm going to put in a line here. I'm going to do the corners first. And then another one. And then another one. And then another. Okay. So let's do the same sort of thing. I'm going to create these little triangles. So I'm going to go now from here to here. And that one's going to go there. But I'm going to draw this one while I've got my tile in this position. And then the same there. So I'm getting these lines going down and along. Okay. So let's do the same with this one. I'm going to work down there. And there. And then here. And then next one, this one, and this one. Just find it easier that way to sort of draw towards me. So moving the tile and doing those at the same time. The same here. One there, one there. Turning it round. One there, one there. Okay, so we've got this sort of triangular border kind of design. So if I come in a little bit more, working on the ones on the inside, I'm going to do a little aura. So just as before, I'm going to do all of these on this side first. And then if I turn it round, then all of them on this side. And then along this one, down here to here, and along. And then on this one. And if I turn it round and I go back, this one to this one, so I've got sort of a double line there. And then along this one. Turning it round. Okay. And then same on this one. Turn it round, and the same again. Okay, so we've got that sort of double line. So I'm going to put a bubble in there now. So it's like sort of, I'm not going to touch it sort of right at the top, but I want a bubble in. Okay, and then in the centre of this one, I'm going to fit it in there. And then as I move around, I'm going to have one in here. There we go. And then one in the middle there. And then this one. Sort of filling a bit of the gap there. And then this one. And this one. I know these are quite large, so just take your time with them, it's absolutely fine. And I'm going to come in with a thicker pen. Okay, and I'm going to fill them in. There we go. See, filling them in with a thinner pen is going to take ages, so we don't want to do that. Go as we are. There we go. So look how quick that is, an 08 size pen, so we've got that. Go and around all of them. Same with this one. It's a great opportunity, isn't it, if you've got a little line that you want to sort of ease off on and amend slightly. You can do that now. And maybe we come back later with a white pen or a pencil and we can add a little highlight on those, but for now, that's fine. Yeah. Oh, hi Bev. Yeah, I am going to put the stag in the shop. I'm just working on doing a few bits and pieces there now, so that'll be the next classes on there today and a few bits like that. But yeah, I'm amazed that I managed to keep a secret, especially from Lynn. So yeah, I think that was quite nice. Okay, I'm going to do another aura, but the reason I did that, I wanted to sort of get that bubble in first. So yours might be a little bit different depending on how sort of large your bubble is. So you see that one will go through there, but I wanted it to have its place first. And then this one. You see? So that's sort of going to sit on top there. And then this one is going to come round. And there we go. Same here. And let's do that one while I'm there. go, all done. Okay, so let's just have a look at these outer edges for a minute. I'm going to go, if you want to use a straight edge for this, you can. I think I'm going to come in and draw a line across. I'm just going to do it freehand. It's almost like I'm putting another border in. You see, this time it's going underneath those little triangles there. Just doing that one. There we go. Just sort of continue it along. And down to here there. A little bit in. Turning it round. And then along. You see? And down. Next one. In and along. It's going underneath those little triangles. And along. And then it's going to sort of join. And then I want to do another, not too far away. So you're not really going to see much of it there, but just work your way around. You might see a little bit there. And just continue that all the way around. Let's join that one. And then along. Just keep it going. Tiny bit there. So you've got this sort of row going under. Okay. Now we've sort of started because we've got a line going through it already. So what I want to do is fill in a row of lines all the way to the end there, and then all the way to the end there. And when we come to a corner, I'm going to put that corner point in, and then it sort of works its way around, so you've got a little bit of an angle like that, you see? So let's fill this row in. You can do either side first, it doesn't matter. If you didn't want to do lines, you could do bubbles. I'd just do one either side of the line to get you started. And then it's absolutely fine. Whatever you want to do with it. Okay. Then again, I'm back to the corner. Putting that angle in and then around and around. And again, filling in those lines and that side. Same sort of thing here. They're all going underneath those triangles. Same with this one. See, we're sort of working our way around that corner. And the next one. And sort of going all the way to the end there. And then all the way to the end on that one. Next one, so along one way, along another, and of course in there, on that one, and first one side, then the other. So we've got this sort of row going all the way through underneath each one. So looking at these lines that are sticking out here now, I'm going to come in and put a little triangle on the top and fill it in. Again, if you want to draw all the triangles first and then come in and fill it in with your thicker pen, you can do that. See, just giving it a little bit of drama in there. Don't worry if they're different sizes, it's fine. Just want to, so I might make that one a little bit wider there. Same on this one. See, into the point, fill it in. And same here, to the point, fill it in. There we go. That next one. Oh, Kath, it's a little bit geometric, isn't it? It's nice to do a little bit of a grid now and again. I know lots of you out there like grids. I'm going to mix it up a little bit in a minute though. So. We'll triangle in. Okay, so we've got that all the way around. I think what I'm going to do is sort of repeat that underneath. Do a smaller one. See, it's not quite a full sort of diamond. I'm just going to use the space that I've got, so I'm not trying to create a shape going under. It just sort of needs a little bit of a finish there. So yeah, this is the tealy colour out of the Brights tiles. It's a nice one to use actually, it's a lovely colour. It works really well with the white pencil, doesn't it? Okay, so there we go, a bit of a design in there. You see here we've got these little gaps, these little spaces. What we can do, I'm going to come in and put some little loops in there. I'm going to aim for 2. Okay, and then I'm going to fill in those gaps. So I'm going to sort of lose that bubble a little bit, but that's okay. And then this side, so aim for 2. So I'm going to start from the middle, out and round on this one, out and round on this one. And then any of those little gaps left, let's fill them in. Okay, same with this one. So again, aim for 2. So whether you want to do the loops first on both sides, or I didn't go in the middle first then. Oh, never mind. They sort of look similar, that's okay. I think I probably visualised the middle rather than drawing it first. But let's do it this time. Centre out, and the same again there. And fill in those gaps. There you go. Last one then. Alright, so out there, and in that one, and middle out, and fill in the gaps. Okay. Sort of going in with first there. Okay. So they all look like little butterflies, aren't they? Lovely. They've got a little bit of gap there, let's fill that in. Okay. So let's have a look now at the sort of the middle and see what we can do with that. Okay. Now I'm going to come in with a large bubble, so I'm going to switch to pencil just for a minute. And if I use my tile just to sort of help me work out where the centre is. It doesn't matter if you haven't got the centre exactly, it's fine. But you know, sometimes it's nice to have, isn't it? There you go, centre point. So I'm going to sketch in a bubble. Alright. So I know we like to sort of have a little bit of a guide there, but there you go, it's about right. And let's go in with the pen now and draw in that sort of shape. You know, you just sort of pick the lines that you like the look of. If you've got a few there, work it out. It doesn't have to be perfectly round, we know that. Okay, there we go. So, whilst we've got bubbles in mind, I'm going to go around the edge and add a row of bubbles there. Just making sure they touch. And not rushing it, because the more we rush it, the sort of flatter bubbles tend to be. It isn't in my case anyway, so I'm going to try and stick with rounds if I can. Absolutely, Joanne, yes, use John's ruler. I do have mine, it's downstairs, I haven't emptied my box yet. Well, it's definitely in there. See, almost. There you are, one in there. Okay. So let's have a look at these sort of shapes here. We just want to break up this square for a minute. So I'm going to go a little bit larger. And again, if you feel happier doing it, I think I'll do it in pencil. See, I've got this line here. I'm just going to mark a line. See that size? Similar size there. It's sort of the same there. And there. So I've got one there already. One there. One there. And one there. Okay? Just go one there. Gives us a little bit of a hint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw in. Now I'm not going to, yeah, I think I will. I'm going to go from this line and I'm going to create a little shape.
Afternoon, guys.
Oh, thank you, Leslie.
Tea time.
Tea time. She does look after me. So let's draw this one across there. And then this next one here, if I draw, see this line I'm putting here. So if you're not sure of the angle, if you sort of work your pen over the top of that one for a minute, and then that one, you sort of get a bit of an angle in there. See this one, let's join it. Now, I could decide to join it at the angle that it is, or I can join it across. I think I'm going to join it as it is. Makes it a little bit more interesting. There we go. There. And this one there. And then join that one. That one there. And that one there. And then across there. So we've got these sort of little shapes kicking in. So I think the ideal thing to do with this one is to add in those extra loops there and fill in the little gaps. So let's do that on all the corners. And to this one. You see, sort of if you work from the middle, you get them a little bit more even. Same on this one. One there. And one there. There we go. And then back to this one. So from the middle, look out and round. There we go. So we've got that kind of oh, I've missed a fill in there. Okay. So let's have a look at where we're at. So we've got that kind of a shape going on. All right. So let's have a look at the next bit then. What I would like to do is I'm going to come with that curve there. You see I've got this point. I'm going to take a point to the curve. So imagine, see, imagine, and bring it down. Or take it up, whatever works for you. Now let's turn it round and do the same again. So I'm going to go to this point, imagine it, bring it down. The same again. Imagine it, bring it down. And again. See, imagine, bring it down. Okay, that's giving us some different shapes there, isn't it? All right. So next little bit then, I'm going to do the same sort of thing, but this time I'm going to aim for, let's have a look. We could aim for the end, we could aim for the middle. Let's aim for the middle, you see? So from there, around and down. Turning it round. So again to the middle, around and down. I'm aiming for the middle, round and down. Last one. Middle, back to the circle there, and down. Okay, quite a nice little shape forming here, haven't we? So I think with this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this one into a larger kind of loop. So let's have a look. So I'm going to sort of bring it up and work it round and back. So you see there, I've got some little gap at the top. There you go, fill it in. So I've got a bit of a round. So then I'm going to ignore the next one, and then I'm onto the same one here. So again, bring it sort of up and round. So I've got a bit of a loop there. See, so this one, I've formed the loop, so I've got that bit of that there. Same with this one. So then I'm going to miss this wider one, and I've got this narrow one here. So again, I'm going to sort of turn that into a little loop at the top and fill it in. And then the next one, so this thinner one, turn it into a loop and fill that bit in. Okay, so that's where we are at so far. So I think I'm going to fill in, I'm going to create an extra line here. So you see where we've got the middle again, the bubble, and we've got a point there where the V is. So I know, Rose, it's a bit different. And it is very kaleidoscope-like, isn't it? But again, Jackie's right. I do try and create something a bit different each time, because I know not everybody likes exactly the same. So we do swap it up a bit. Okay. So this one here, this is the one that sort of joins on with this triangle shape here. I'm going to come in with, let's go a bit bigger. Put Sean Connery in the middle. I know exactly what you mean, yeah. We're all going to be singing the Bond theme now. So I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to create a little loop, like so, and bring it back. Another loop, and bring it back. And another. And back. And another. And back. You see, you're getting this sort of loop pattern. Okay, let's add a little line on the top there. Okay, and I'm going to put some little lines in it. There we go, same on this one. Alright, so then I'm going to look at the next one. Now I'm going to look at, see, I've got this triangle shape here, so I'll remember which one it is. So let's sort of count round. 1, 2, 3. Then I've got this triangle again. So I'm going to miss 2. I'm going to do the same in this one. Loops around. You see how they're not quite touching? That's absolutely fine. I'm just wanting to sort of get a bit of a shape going. There you go. And then add the little lines on there. And then little lines, joining them in. There we go. Okay. Oh, Wendy, I think, why don't you do them in pencil first, and then don't be slow with them. Just go for it with a pencil and see what happens. You could always rub it out. And again, I'm trying to do each one as sort of an individual. So even if you start with this point and then back round, stop and start and back round. Okay. Just try it in different ways. There's more than my way of drawing them. So if the way I sort of tend to do them isn't working for you, then just try it a different way. There you go. And if they don't, you can use curls instead. You don't have to use these. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so then we've got another 2. And then again, I've got this space. You see where I've got that sort of triangle on the end? Let's come on in, draw these loops. Oh, John's not happy, Leslie. Oh, she's made me a cup of tea and she's not made John a cup of coffee. Right, that's it, she's heading downstairs. I bet it's downstairs and she's forgot to bring it up. There we go. Give anybody a squeal. There you go. Alright, so we've got this going on. Alright. So let's have a look at the I think I might come and fill this space in with black in a minute, but not just yet. I'm going to leave that for a minute. I'm going to look back. I've got 2 more shapes here. Now one of them I'm going to leave completely without anything in. I think it's nice to have that sort of gap. But then this one, I want to do something a little bit as well. So I'm going to put a mark. Let's have a look. Sort of imagine the middle. Let's put a mark. Okay. And then a little line either side of that mark. So let's do that on the other one. So you see it's next to this one. Making my way around. So if I put a mark there, I'm going to leave a gap either side. Turn it again, so it's next to this one. Line, put a little gap either side. Then again, a line and a gap either side. Okay, so we'll start with this one. If I start from the middle, I'm going to aim it towards here. And then imagine that that's going underneath there and bring it to here. And then I probably can get another 2 in there. See, 1, yeah. And probably 2 in there. Okay. And then on the other side, let's put 2 in. And another 2. Okay. So we've got this little gap now. I think what I'm doing, I'm going to just sort of bring in a little lozenge shape. And then I could put a bubble in. And one either side, fill it in. So let's do the next one. Now if you want to do the lozenge shape first, you can. I think sometimes it's nice that you've got those guides that even if you go over a little bit, you know it doesn't matter so much. There we are. And same in this side. And down here. And in this one. Along. Oh, you're welcome, Andy. It's always worth trying it a different way. Kathy, I have no idea either. I think it's a case that if you put the tile in the direction that you're comfortable with. I'm very comfortable drawing lines this kind of way, but also it's a confidence thing, isn't it? It's about me knowing where my line's going, and I just go for it. So it's not sort of a scratchy, hit and miss kind of line. It's there. And to get that, if you, like we've done earlier, if you follow it through but don't draw it, you can see where it's going and then bring it in. It might be something worth trying, just to get those smoother lines. So I know it's going to go there to there. And when you're confident enough, draw it in. Okay. In with that one. And then back in with bubbles. And then straight to the last one here. So again, see, I know if you put a dot there, it helps. See? And if your hand's comfortable, you know as well that it's going to sort of do what you want it to do. And sometimes I think we worry a bit too much and we try and go a little bit too slow with it. Yeah, and ease off your pen. Sometimes if you're holding your pen a bit too tight, it doesn't want to do. So just let it flow, let it do its job. Okay. So let's have a look. We've got a little triangle sort of shape here. Now I'm going to come straight in with my thicker pen. You know I talked about filling it in? Let's see what it looks like with a bubble first before I fill the whole thing in. I might keep a bubble in instead. And then this one. So you've got to follow this, haven't you? You've got to do a little bit at a time and make sure that you're doing the steps. See the top of those. So let's put a little flick either side. Just so you could go over it if you want. There you go. And then one there as well. Okay, let's have a look at that. All right. So moving out a bit. Seems quite a lot going on there now, doesn't there? There's lots of different sort of elements. I think we've still got this little bit here to address. I think that's probably about what we're going to do. So I'm going to take inspiration from these little loops here. So from there, I'm going to start at this point and I'm going to create a loop as we do in the middle first. And then I'm going to do one actually that fills the whole space. Fills the whole space. And then any little gaps we've got left, let's come in and black them out. So then turn into this one, middle loop, and we're going to fill the space, and fill the space, and fill them in. We're sort of creating a little bit of a different shape now. Next one, from the middle, fill the space, and same with that one. And let's come on in, and any gaps we want to remove. And again, loop, and fill the space, and fill the space. There we go, sort of joining them in. Okay, so I think we'll have a look at putting some pencil in. So I'm just going to put the lid back on for a minute. I'm just going to come in, you know where we've got that cross in the middle, I'm just going to remove it. We don't need that. I think that's going in. I'm going to probably colour that in. Like a bit of a gem going on in the middle there. Okay, so the first thing then, we're going to start with these shapes around the inside. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to shade each one, or shall I? Maybe I will. I'm going to shade each one. See how that works. Both sides, or both ends. Go. Same here, both ends. Just work my way around it. Same with this one. You see, I'm not particularly being neat about this, doesn't have to be. Just going to fill them in. Okay, let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay. In with this one. A little bit either side. Okay, and then let's have a look at these shapes here. So I think it's going to be again a little bit at each end. And there. I see that we've gone over in pen and we've got these lines in the loops. I don't mind in the slightest. It's just giving it a little bit of extra shape there. Let's shape that as we go. And then of course we can do the same with these here. Adding a little bit on each side. And then turn it round where we were before, back to this one. On this side, and then those in the loops. Working on these little shapes in the middle there. And of course, back in with those loops. And working our way around. And around we go with those little shapes there. And back to this one. We've got one more to do, so at the bottom there, in the centre there, and those. And then of course the little loops. And the little loops. There we go. Okay. So next little bit is we've got these plain sections. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and draw or add pencil one side and the other. And then the next one along this edge, and along this edge, and then along this edge. So working our way all the way around, and this one, and this one. Okay, so let's have a look at the edges here, or the border shape. So I'm going to come in, see where we've got this sort of stripe here. I'm going to add some either side. Again, don't worry about being particularly neat. Same here on this one. And then these. So sort of following it round. Getting some graphite in there, this side there, into this one, and this one. There we go. And then the little lines, I'm going to add a little bit at the bottom of each. Now this one, stick at the bottom there. I'm going to put a little bit on those ends as well. Oh, hello, Grannies. I've seen your name today, I'm sure. Have I seen your name today? Thank you for watching and for joining this crazy bunch of people. It's lovely to have you. I just want to show you that I am tangling very quickly because I've only got an hour to do this. So please watch it back and do it at your leisure. Don't think you've got a rush. And you could also mute me, so you don't have to listen to me going on for an hour. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to put a bit more on in a while, but I want to get all these sorted first. So a tortillon, and look, I've two in 2 days, a brand new clean tortillon. So we're going to start with the first little bits here. This one, it might be Glenny's, but yeah. There we go. You see it's sort of softening it off. And again, oh sorry, I'm not going to go all the way to the middle. So if I work on the other side, it's going to fill that in. Sort of little zigzags. Got a bit of a highlight there. You can still see the tile underneath. Alright, same with this one. It's too tiny there to worry about. So I'm going to work my way around rather than do the same on every one. And I'll come back then and do the border. So these little loops in the same sort of way. And here I want to sort of work it to leave a highlight either side. So I'm going to get one there. And then I'm going to get one in the middle of this there. Alright. So then this one, start with little swirls. We want to control it, but we don't want it to move too far. You see? And then sort of ease it off. Same on this one. And then along. So again, got that highlight or that strip down the middle there. To the next one. You see? Little bit zigzaggy either side. Nice light pressure. There you go. The same again. All the way around. And then along here. And same with this one. So you see how that sort of gives us that little highlight, but because we're sort of changing directions here and there, you're going to get a little bit of a different effect on each one. Of course, if you're using a lighter tile, then your shading's going to look a little bit different than this too. Oh, look, missed the corner. Just needs a little bit there. Okay, we'll miss the corner on the other side as well. Look. Okay. So where was I? Okay, onto this one now. And round it goes. all the way down and then along. And round it goes. Along. And back to the loops. Both sides. Oh, I missed those again in the corner. These little loops. A bit more there maybe. And then here that's going in. Oh. There we go. And again, back to swirls for this one. And along. And swirls. And back along. So that sort of gives us the shading in the middle there for a minute. I'm going to have a look now at the outside. So let's start with these. I'm going to add a little bit, just sort of softness to the edges of each, around the corner there. Okay. And again, you see I've got that little highlight in the middle. So we're not trying to completely obliterate and cover everything in graphite. We're just wanting to give it a little bit of definition. Just come all the way around. There we go. Almost. The shading on this one's quite quick, I think. Once you've got the hang of it, it's almost just sort of touching it up a little bit. It's not really about going all hands out. So we've now got this line here. So I'm going to work back and forth on those. Again, I don't want it to travel too far, I just want a little bit of a shade on it. There we go. Missed that line there, but do you know what? There's enough on my tortilla, enough graphite to cover one line. There we go. Same again. Okay, so it needs a little bit more at the moment. Let's just have a look on it now. Okay, so we've got some shading there, but we definitely need a little bit more. Of course, I'll add a little bit in there just so it looks like it's going in for now, but I'm going to come in with some colour in there in a short while. I'll do that and I will post a picture of it, but you get the idea. I'll maybe leave it like that. Maybe go a bit darker actually. Maybe I'm going to leave it with that hole in. Oh, decisions. There we go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw quite a heavy line around that bubble. Don't worry if you go into the bubbles around it a little bit, that's fine. Okay. And then where I've got my border here, where we've put that line in, I'm going to come in quite heavy around that edge. Okay. So I'm sort of picking out that square now. Same there. Okay. And then I'm going to shade on the other side of that line and then on the inside of that line. Turn around, same again, so both sides of that border. Again. And again. Okay. So let's get our torchon back out and swirls. I'm going to work in swirls around this border here. So I'm not sort of wanting it to move completely over everything I've shaded, but I want it to have a little bit more of a line there. Sort of soften it as I go round. There we go. Same with this one. There we go. Okay. And then let's do this one. See, swirls again. The same with this one. Swirls again. Let's start from there actually. Go up bank. Same on this one. I'm going to go up bank. Next one. Almost there. This is the third one. Yeah, I find it easy to go up bank with my swirls. You might find it better to go down, it's fine. And just leave it off there. There we go. Same on that one. And then along into that one. Okay. So I'm going to bring in my white pencil. It's a chalky one, if you're not sure what it is. In a second. There we go. And the first thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of a highlight to those sort of shapes. So those first little loops we did there. And I'm going to put a line up through the middle here. And then on these little bubbles, I'm going to put little dots. And a little bit in between there. So let's do it again. Let's go a little bit bigger so you can see what I'm doing. See little lines in between there. A little highlight on those bubbles. And add some white where we left a space. And then in with a line there. Little bits in there. Little highlights. Little squiggle in there. And a line through there. Little bits in there, little highlights, and little lines in there, and a little bit in there. Okay. So then also let's just sort of clear that a little bit. So I've got. Hang on a second. I need a clean tortilla. Very gently, just sort of soften it off a little bit. I don't want to push it too far. I don't want to move it too far. We just need a little bit of it. You see the line I'm going to leave and these little highlights I'm going to leave. It's just sort of these little bits here and those little bits. So we just want to tone it in a little bit. Hardly need to touch it really. You see the difference it makes, just gives it a little bit of a softness. Same on those. There we go. There we go. Going round again, just to be sure. So we've got that kind of thing. I think being that I'm leaving this as a hole in there, I'm not going to put a highlight sort of where I'd normally do. If you want a gem, you'd put a highlight here. Just going to put a little bit, just a little bit in there. Again, just sort of ease it off. Just it's got a bit of interest. And then let's bring in the white pencil again. So working around the frame, we could actually go in and put extra bits. But what I'm going to do is not that. I'm going to come in and add some white down the first line. So I'm going through the middle of that border. And I'm going over pen and all sorts. So don't mind it's as if it's a little bit of a broken line. Sometimes it doesn't really like to move over things. There we go. Shouldn't be a problem. And then this one. Okay. So last little thing before we have a look at the actual, I'm going to come back in with my pen. Remember this line we've got here for this border? I want to put that back in. So again, you might want to do it with a straight edge. I'm going to go back in with doing a freehand. Straight over everything. Okay, and next one. And I want to do the same with the outer edge. Just redefining that line there. See, just bringing it back. There we go. And along again. So again, if you've used a different colour tile, you're gonna, depends on what colour you've used, you're gonna get a different effect. You might, if you want to accentuate some of the lines, you can go in and pick some of those lines as well, if you want to. You could go back in and redo those bubbles. See, sometimes the graphite, it works brilliantly, it gives you the shading, but you sometimes lose a little bit of that definition that you liked to start with. You know, you've got that black pen. I'm not going to do all of this, I'm going to just do part of it. Let's have a look. And there we go. So yeah, it does look a little bit like a kaleidoscope with a bit of a frame in there. It's, yeah, you'll get there, Pam. Steady hand. Honestly, so if you look, well, you do see this really closely. They're not all straight. I'm just going to put my signature in there. Okay. And that is today's tile. So couldn't you imagine 254 tiles? So if this is where you're just coming in with the first one, you might want to work backwards and see where you head, or you might want to sort of pick a few. I don't know, maybe do 10, 20, 30, number 40, number 50, that kind of thing, and make a start with them that way. So there you go. Have a bit of fun with this. I'd love to see the different colours that you've decided you're going to use. But yeah, just enjoy it. So have a lovely weekend. Sadly, we've got no classes this weekend, so I think we might be in here doing a bit of packing. Wonder why. And of course, the next weekend we'll be at Doncaster for the live show there. So if you've got tickets, come and say hello. I think I'm on B23 or something. And of course, then we've got a couple of tiles next week. Tile swaps due in at some point, and then yeah, it's all systems go, isn't it? So have a good one, everybody. And I am going to put some classes and dates back on the website, so we'll get that sorted as soon as I can. If it's not today, it'll be tomorrow. So have a bit of fun, a great weekend, and I will see you soon. All right, you take care, everyone. Bye.